Up with the sun, gone with the wind. He's always off to the races. Another new town, another new job. They always said he'd go places. Traveling man does what he can, making his way through the system. Traveling man, since he began, the places he left truly missed him.
The town of Murraysville, Pennsylvania, is famous for two significant events in the gas industry. First, it's where early natural gas pioneers drilled the famous Haymaker well in the late 1870s, and in doing so, ushered in the natural gas industry in America. The second event was the birth of James Richard Kelso on November 22, 1927. Dick's connection with the gas industry goes back 3 generations. His grandfather, Sherman Kelso, was a tool dresser on the Haymaker well. His father, Ford Kelso, was a truck driver for the People's Natural Gas Company and helped organize the first unions at CNG's Pittsburgh subsidiary. Dick's mother, Catherine, also worked at People's as a switchboard operator. The early Kelso years in Murraysville are remembered by those who were there.
Well, we're standing in front of Catherine Kelso's home. Catherine and Ford Kelso, where our good friend Dick Kelso was born and raised. There was a woodshed in his backyard that is no longer there, and Dick learned some of his early discipline, if you can believe that Kelso ever had any discipline. He learned it in that woodshed there when Ford Kelso, his beloved dad, was still alive. Just in the backyard of Dick's home is the little red schoolhouse where he was educated, or more properly, where he educated the teachers. Dick skipped 2, perhaps 3 grades while he was going through grammar school, to the extent that when he graduated from college, he was too young to get a teaching certificate, and that's what he was going to do.
I guess what I would remember is that Dick was a pretty good athlete as a kid, well coordinated, skinny, string bean. I mean, I don't know at age 10 what he weighed, but I bet he couldn't have weighed more than 75 pounds. And always running. You know, he never stopped running. Dick was always on the go. He was in good health, had lots of friends. His mom and dad were great people. Knowing Dick now, you can understand why he's turned out to be the type of person he is, where he loves people, is enthusiastic about life, is happy. And I attribute it to his home and the way he grew up.
Nobody but Dick Kelso could have worn knickers in Franklin High School in 1940 and got away with it, I'll tell you. But he'd skipped those 3 grades as a kid, and he was just a babe among men there, but became their leader very quickly, just like he did in his gas company career.
Graduating from high school at age 15, Dick was possibly the youngest student ever to have been admitted to Geneva College. It was on the Beaver Falls campus that Dick first acquired his legendary habit of rising early. To help pay his tuition, Dick convinced the college president to let him be the one to ring the bell that served as a wake-up call for his fellow scholars. Before he was old enough to buy a drink, Dick had not only graduated from college, but also managed to serve in the U.S. Navy during World War II. In 1948, the fresh-faced college graduate came knocking on the door of the People's Natural Gas Company.
He was bright, clean, and an extrovert. And I knew I could get along.
In 1956, Dick moved from Peoples to the Hope Natural Gas Company in Clarksburg, West Virginia, and began a journey through the CNG system that would take him to 7 of its subsidiaries. These were years when new ideas on how to sell natural gas were being pioneered by people like John McElwain and Dick Kelso.
And marketing that was something that nobody even heard of. And when he got through, they did. And he made a point of getting to that point across to all of the employees at Hope.
It has been said that Dick Kelso would give the shirt off his back to sell a gas appliance. And sometimes it took even more than that. Always ahead of his time, he was a pioneer in the use of film to promote gas appliances. Years later, a certain toothpaste company copied this idea from Dick.
Look, Jane, our bankroll has 15% fewer cavities.
That's wonderful, John.
John and 2,000 other lucky Hope and River employees will soon be enjoying even fewer bankroll cavities during the fall gas range and dryer campaign. With this extra incentive toward sales, you'll want to be sure to get your share of this plus business. Cut.
In 1967, Dick was promoted to assistant vice president and transferred to Elmira, New York, to market gas to wholesale customers in upstate New York. These gas companies supply some of the coldest cities in the United States, and it often took special skills to keep these customers on our side.
I can remember being at the Syracuse Hotel with him, and we were at the bar with some customers. We were staying at the hotel, and Dick had to leave, but he left me with these people. He said, well, just sign my name and put my room number on it, and don't worry about it. Okay, fine. When he came down the next evening into the bar, the bartender just sirred him to death. Mr. Kelso, how do you, sit down, sir. Here, anything I can get you? He couldn't understand it until he checked out the hotel and found out that I had tipped the bartender $50.
In 1974, it was back to Clarksburg, this time as a vice president, replacing his early mentor, John McElwain.
I knew him best when we were working together on Supply Corporation's curtailment cases when he was vice president of marketing and rates. And there really wasn't anything to market, so he was, I would say, vice president of curtailment.
December 17th, 1977 was another significant day in Dick's life.
Thought it was a great honor to be asked to be Dick's best man. It's hard for me to believe that that's nearly a dozen years ago.
In 1978, Dick found himself in Pittsburgh once again, this time as the vice president in charge of all the marketing and area development efforts for the entire consolidated system.
Dick's enthusiasm, his high energy level, his people skills, and his plain love of people make him a very special person. Dick always will see the glass half full, not half empty, and he's been able to pass this positive attitude on to the many people he's been associated with over the years. Dick has truly made a difference.
And in 1981, he would begin to make a difference at a company called East Ohio and a community called Northeast Ohio.
Out on the road, west on the pike, you're the one Pittsburgh will mourn for. Follow the sun, follow your heart. This is the job you were born for.
It was a complex time for the gas company back in 1981 when Dick Kelso stepped into the president's office. Customers were complaining about high gas bills. Community groups were protesting at our doorstep. Employees had memories of a long strike just a few years earlier. And stockholders feared the worst as our own suppliers began to sell gas to our customers. Customers, employees, stockholders, and the community. These are the four groups that looked for a leader in troubled times. And no one was better prepared than Dick Kelso to be that leader. Like the East Ohio presidents before him, it was the right man in the right job at the right time. To follow Dick's career through the 80s, let's take a closer look at each of these four groups.
Customers' needs, customers' wants, most firms merely accept them. Well, to tell you the truth, we're proud to serve. Promises made and he kept them. Promises made and he kept them.
One of Dick Kelso's first jobs as president was to announce a 40% increase in gas bills resulting from deregulation. It was painful, to be sure, but included with the message was the assurance that gas prices would level off for the rest of the 80s. A somewhat risky statement at the time, it has proven true, and today the big majority of customers view natural gas as an excellent value.
Who is this man? Where is he from? He wants to play second base. He's one of us, a man you can trust, a leader with style and grace.
In his first summer at East Ohio, Dick heard about a softball game being planned between two work locations and decided to show up. Clad in cutoffs, Dick introduced himself to the surprised softballers as their new president and took a position at second base. Later in the day, he sat down with the group and, over hot dogs and beer, helped plan a company-wide softball tournament that continues to this day. For some, that was the first time they had ever seen a president in person. But soon every employee at East Ohio would not only have a chance to see Dick Kelso, but also to meet with him personally.
He came around to all our locations. We met him. He was concerned about our needs, and we had forums that he conducted. He wanted that close contact with the employees.
Wanting to continue to communicate with employees on a regular basis, Kelso and many of the employees he talked with at these meetings were struck with an idea, and an employee television show was born. Though a serious effort to accomplish two-way communications goals, it had its humorous moments too.
Jeez. Sorry about that.
Reaction shots are often videotaped at the end of a session and edited in later. The idea is to say something to make Dick look interested.
World Free, the high point man. He's been that on most of the games that the Cavs have played, I know. By the way, I'm not going to make it to your staff meeting on Thursday morning. Thought I'd tell you that on tape, so.
I was totally interested in that.
It's been said that Dick knows every employee by name. Titles, however, are another matter.
With me today is Dorothy Longshaw. Dorothy is Employment Benefits Representative. Jeez. Okay. With me today is Dorothy Longshaw. Dorothy is employment, I will say employment every damn time. Dorothy is employment, I did it again. Dorothy is employment, I did it again. Talk about a fixation. Dorothy has changed her title.
As president, Dick requested that all employees call him by his first name.
December 31.
Some, however, were hesitant to do so.
Well, thank you very much, Dorothy, for a very worthwhile explanation of the ESOP plan.
You're welcome. Dick.
Yeah, you're right.
Dick Kelso believed that one should be proud of the company one works for, and he promoted pride among his fellow employees. First, there was the I'm proud of the company I keep campaign, which gave employees a chance to tell each other and the general public why they are proud to be employees and stockholders of the company they work for.
He gave the employees and management a new beginning. We went through some hard times in the past, and Dick Kelso, when he came on board, he erased all those hard times, and now we have a company that employees and management work together as a team, and we're proud of that team that we keep.
Another source of pride was the 90th anniversary celebration. Each employee received a copy of the book, The Spirit of Progress, which documents in words and pictures East Ohio's spirited first 90 years. Also, employees and retirees were invited to help build a brand new historical center by donating artifacts and other historical items. Located in East Ohio's main office, the center will remain a tribute to the employees who built and continue to build the East Ohio Gas Company. To be proud of the company one keeps at East Ohio definitely includes that company's president.
That's my buddy. I think he's great. He's one of the best presidents we've ever had. He's down to earth. He makes you feel like you're part of the company. He's just excellent, just great.
Watch all the cost, never waste time. We must be very efficient. Make what is fair, be willing to share. Only this way is sufficient.
Dick Kelso said that managers do things right and that leaders do the right thing. One of the major responsibilities of any president is to lead the company toward the goal of being a profitable, efficient company. And that's just what he's done for both East Ohio and its parent company, the Consolidated Natural Gas Company.
I believe Dick Kelso is a real believer in Consolidated. For him, the words system and team had to be synonymous. He was part of the cement that just holds Consolidated together, and an important part of that cement. He's a good man to have around.
They volunteer without a fear. He accepts every chance to serve. With a kindly touch, he does so much. He does it with relish and burn.
When he first came to town, many people asked Dick how Pittsburgh accomplished its so-called Renaissance. His answer would always be, Pittsburgh is fine, but Cleveland can do even better. And thanks in many ways to Dick Kelso, Cleveland is doing better.
Dick and I, he came in about 81, and that's about when I was getting started here in the city. In fact, it was just when I was elected to my second term after serving mayors 2 years, and we were getting started, and I like to think of him as a civic leader, an extraordinary civic leader that accomplished more than probably anyone in anyone's memory in terms of all the things he did during that period of time. So I look at him as a urban pioneer.
In 1983, the Cleveland Cavaliers were the doormat of the NBA. Dick Kelso became the first president of the Rebounders Club, and along with the new owners, the Gunn brothers, helped turn around a franchise that just about had its bags packed for another city.
I like his enthusiasm. He is a big Cavs fan, and when he's around, his attitude is such that, hey, do the best you can and we'll be behind you no matter what happens, and we appreciate that.
The image of what truckers call Dirty City in CB language is also being changed by a program initiated by Dick Kelso. As the first city-side garden, sponsored by East Ohio, began to sprout in 1984, Dick challenged other corporate leaders to try out their green thumbs. Today, the project has taken root, and Cleanland, Ohio, tends over 50 gardens throughout the city. In 1985, he found himself chairing the Greater Cleveland United Way campaign and achieving the highest per capita giving in the United States. He did the same for the United Negro College Fund. Another idea sparked by Dick Kelso, Light Up Cleveland Night, achieved national recognition for the city by giving local citizens and a national TV audience an impressive view of downtown. How does he find time for all this volunteer work? When most of us are just getting up in the morning, Dick Kelso has already put in several hours toward the betterment of our communities.
What has Dick Kelso done for the community? He's just made it get up earlier in the morning. I think all of us are a little tireder for having Dick Kelso in Cleveland, but the community has got a lot to show for those extra hours that we all put in at the behest of Dick Kelso at sunrise meetings.
Whether you're a customer, an employee, a stockholder, a community volunteer, or like Dick Kelso, all four, you're not likely to soon forget a man named Kelso.
I think Dick Kelso is a rare breed of a man that has helped our company in more ways than just being president.
I think his rapport with the public has made everybody's job with the gas company easier.
To know that somebody, you know, at the president's level will take enough time and to be involved with our individual daily work, and that really makes a lot of difference. It really does.
Whatever his endeavors are away from C&G in East Ohio, I hope he'll be a success, and I think he will be one president that will be surely missed.
Traveling man, make a new plan. It won't be the same when you parted. Traveling man, traveling through life, but it seems like we've only just started. It seems like we've only just started.